This one isn't a ghost story. It's worse, because every part of it really happened. Lock your door tonight. A few years ago, I rented an apartment from a friend of mine. He'd recently bought it and completely renovated it. He tried to sell it, but couldn't find a buyer, so I offered to rent it in the meantime. After moving in, I quickly realized something was wrong with the lady next door. She was around 45 years old, but she looked much older. She would stay awake all night, listening to Christian radio shows and loudly talking to someone. Eventually, I couldn't sleep anymore, so I went over and asked her to keep the noise down. She opened the door. I got a quick look inside. Every wall was covered with crosses, painted in different colors. Words like Jesus and angels scribbled everywhere. The windows were painted black, blocking out all light. The place was damp. Yellow-stained 50-year-old carpets, dog waste, cockroaches everywhere. Except there was no dog. I asked her again to please keep it down. She just stared at me, closed the door, and turned the radio up even louder. The next night, my girlfriend was staying over. I woke up in the middle of the night and saw the shadow of a person standing beside our bed, watching us sleep. At first, I thought I was hallucinating. I usually see things in the dark when I'm tired. But then, the shadow started talking. It was my neighbor. She was holding something in her hand. She had broken into our apartment during the night. I have no idea how long she had been standing there. She looked at us and said, "You should lock your doors at night." Then she walked out. The next morning I heard strange noises coming from below my bedroom window. It was my neighbor, talking to herself in tongues. She was holding a plastic bag. Inside was her dead, rotting dog. It was extremely hot outside, and I could smell death coming from that bag. At this point, I was terrified. She was clearly unstable. I went upstairs, knocked on another neighbor's door, asked him what was going on. He looked just as scared. Apparently, she had broken into his apartment one night while he was watching TV with his kids. He got up from the couch to grab a snack, only to find her standing behind the couch, staring at him, holding a power drill. Thinking about it now, I finally understood what she had been holding beside our bed. At that point, I called the police. They already knew about her. Apparently, she was a violent schizophrenic who had stopped taking her medication. But because she owned the apartment, they couldn't force their way inside. The only thing they could do was wait until she left. I stayed awake for the next 2 days, waiting for her to run out of cigarettes. Finally, at 2 a.m., I saw her leave, walking across the road to the 7-Eleven. I called the police. Within minutes, 3 police cars and a special van arrived. They restrained her, placed her in the van, and took her away to an institution. Less than a minute later, it was like she had never existed. I never saw her again, but I still have nightmares about her, standing beside my bed, watching me sleep.